Hi there, everybody. I am Prashant Kumar, your friend. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Sociocratic. We are discussing about 10th standard social science. In the last video, we discussed about the establishment of UN and its special organs, main organs we discussed. And today, let us discuss about the same topic continuation, achievements of UN. In the UNO, what are the achievements it did? So total achievements of UNO was divided into three. They are peacekeeping functions, economic and financial achievements, and social achievements. So like these three divisions they made. So one by one let us discuss about that. So let us start achievements of UNO. First, peacekeeping functions. Main intention of UNO is to maintain peace in the world. So this organization wanted to avoid peace. So wanted to bring peace in the world, to avoid the future war. So for that purpose, it worked a lot. In that, UNO worked towards resolving the crisis, many crises which may lead to the Third World War. Such situations which arose in the world. To avoid that, UNO tried its level best. In many cases, it became successful, but some cases it is 50% successful. So in that, some crisis like Suez Canal crisis, there it may lead to might have been lead to the big problem, but it's tried to solve. Iran problem, Indonesia, and Kashmir problem, as you know, India Pakistan, their Kashmir problem tried to put ceasefire, but still it is alive. It tried, but still alive. Palestinian problem, there are Palestinians because of Israel, the creation of Israel for Jews. The Palestinians, the inhabitants of that area, the residents of that area became refugees. As a result, these Palestinians, they tried to get independence and they wanted to fight against that. So Palestinian Liberation Army was formed. In that, I think you heard about Yasser Arafat was the leader. Yasser Arafat was the leader of that, and he fought uh, for the liberation of Palestine. And Korean problem. So actually, in the Korean problem, America and Russia came together, and actually here afterwards Korea divided into two: North Korea, South Korea. There, half of the Korea became accepted democracy, and half of the Korea accepted communism. Yeah, so they directly participated, but because of the effort of UNO, so the war stopped. Hungarian problem, Congo problems, Cyprus, all the same type, Arab-Israel problems, Namibia, Afghanistan, etc. In these areas, whatever the problem or the crisis arose, so wherever this crisis comes, UNO will enter there. Peacekeeping force will go and try to put ceasefire. And worked on disarmament and nuclear disarmament areas. So disarmament, decreasing the number of weapons or elimination of weapons step by step. That step taken by this UNO, because stockpiling of weapons may lead to the Third World War because of the Cold War situation. We already discussed about that. Because of the Cold War situation, the clouds of Third World War came on the sky. And to avoid that, if we have more and more weapons, anytime they may drop these nuclear weapons, etc. To elimination of this one, disarmament, very important one. Far range missiles, etc. destroyed. So by that, it tried to bring peace in the world. So these are the main peacekeeping functions of UNO. Next, we have to discuss about economic and financial achievements. Mainly, UNO was established not only to stop the future wars, to also in the First World War, First World and Second World War actually, Second World War, whichever the countries faced economic problem, to rebuild that. reconstruction of nations. This UNO worked because of the poverty, because of the economic problems, economic slavery, many dictatorship emerged after First World War. So it led to Second World War. To avoid that, economic development important one. So for that purpose, so it worked. What are its works? Let us see. As per UNO Charter, it should uplift the socio-economic status of the people of the world. The socio-economic status should be uplifted. So by that what happens? People should get economically independent. The country should become economically independent. By that, the economic slavery can be stopped and the rivalry between the countries may be stopped. And if the one section of the society, if they are suppressed, then again there is a problem. They may support one leader. That leader may become dangerous to the world. So like that, to avoid that, so it is trying to uplift the socio-economic status of the people. This work need to be achieved through the supervision of Economic and Social Committee. Economic and Social Committee is there. I already discussed in the last video. We discussed about that. Under that, it need to achieve through supervision. So whatever the development work is going on, it should supervise that. Simply how to do this one, how to do that. If they say, it's of no use. Supervision very important. So through Economic and Social Committee, it is supervising. And with that, to improve the trade, actually for the economic development, international trade very important one. For that purpose, the great step taken by UN was General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, GATT agreement, is a notable agreement here. But because of GATT, some negative points also there. So if we discuss, positive and negative both are there. Free movement of the goods, tax-free trade. By that, some countries they suffered a lot. Foreign goods, machine-made goods dumped in the market. As a result, domestic industries destroyed, etc. It is common. The negative points also there. But anyway, trade developed at once. India also signed for that. Another important program is the United Development Program. Yeah, United Development Program is another very important program here. Yeah, and with that, IBRD, IMF are working well with the support of UNO. Yeah, international organizations, so like this World Bank, IBRD, and IMF. So all these, they are providing financial support to the nations. So under UNO, they are working. So like this, economic support also giving economic achievements actually. Yeah. So this is about economic and financial achievements. Next, we have to discuss about social achievements. In the society, what development is possible? So here are three areas, one peacekeeping functions and another one economically and financially should be solid. With that, socially, equality necessary, rights necessary. For that it is working. Under that, its organs like special agencies like WHO, World Health Organization, UNESCO, UNICEF, World Refugee Council are interested in the social well-being of the world. They are working for the welfare of the society, welfare of the people. It will try to provide health. It will try to improve the condition of the children. And it will try to improve the scientific development and social development, cultural development, etc. And any refugees, so if refugee problems are there in the world, that one should be solved. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, December 10th, very important declaration by the General Assembly of UNO, is there. In the world, human rights very important one. In many countries, the people, they were neglected, they were not getting rights. It should be provided. So great achievement. Every year on December 10th, we celebrate as World Human Rights Day. And play decisive role in the removal of apartheid, colonialism and imperialism. Very important role it played in the apartheid in Africa, racial discrimination. To remove racial discrimination, it worked a lot. As a result, now apartheid almost removed, and colonialism and imperialism. So foreign countries, they occupy or getting control over the country and getting control over the administration of the country, making it colony, or getting control over the administration. So imperialism, all these were stopped. Many countries got independence. Those who are suffering, for them to get independence, it will try. So these are the main achievements by the UNO. Yes. So with that, as we discussed, some special agencies they are trying to develop or achieve. So let us discuss about organizations under UNO. Yeah. And before that, just for your information, that language, which are the official language or administrative language of UNO, there they are selected Chinese, English, French, Russian, Spanish and Arabic are the administrative languages. Okay. Yeah. Now, various organizations, special agencies of UNO, we have discussed various organizations of UNO. There, FAO, WHO, UNESCO, UNICEF, IMF, IBRD, ILO, WTO, UNO's Trade and Commerce Progress Committee. So these were the main, still more it is there, but main organizations of UNO. Let us discuss one by one. First, FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, which was established in 1945. Its headquarters is in Rome. FAO symbol, this one. Yeah. FAO, Fate, Panis, and Food and Agriculture Organization. Here it's a crop. To fight against poverty, malnutrition, and hunger all over the world. So FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, was established to fight against poverty, malnutrition, and hunger all over the world. It should be avoided. Poverty should be rooted out, and malnutrition should be cancelled. And we have to provide nutritious food to the world, to the people of the world. And hunger, no one should suffer from hunger. That was the intention of FAO. And here, actually, in this organization, it has some subdivisions. There are conference, committee, and director general are the three subdivisions. So what are the aims of this FAO? Development of agriculture. The name itself says Food and Agriculture Organization. It should develop agriculture. By that what happens? Food crops should be increased. By that, scarcity of food can be cancelled. And we have to meet the demand for food. By that, everyone should get 3 times a day food. Yeah. And providing nutritious food, that is another important one. Not only providing food, we have to provide nutritious food. By that what happens, their resistance power increasing and diseases will come down. Creation of hunger-free communities. Everyone should get food. Reforming the life of rural people. Yeah, we have to reform the life of rural people. They were suffering in poverty. And in the rural area, they are not getting nutritious food. For that purpose. Actually, environment, if you take in the rural area, the pollution free, but in the urban area, free pollution. So like that it will be. So whatever it may be, but nutritious food very important one. The farmers, etc., they are trying to grow, but for their life, they will give everything to the urban people. They will not get anything. For their crop, they are not getting proper price. As a result, they are not getting nutritious food. So this is the problem. So these are the aims of this FAO. Let us move to World Health Organization, WHO, which was established in 1948. Its headquarters in Geneva. So this is the emblem. So World Health Organization aimed at improving the health of the world community. Here, this organization was established to improve the health of the member nations and strive to eradicate diseases like plague, cholera, malaria, and smallpox. See, these diseases should be eradicated. Yeah, and working to free the world from AIDS, cancer, etc. Actually, now big pandemic COVID-19, against that it is fighting. Yeah, and actually the great achievement of WHO, that is eradication of smallpox. Smallpox in the world, it is not there. Completely removed. It is a great achievement of WHO. Now it is trying to remove or eradicate, completely wipe out the polio. So polio drops they will provide for the children below 5 years to avoid, to wipe out the polio from the world. See, like that, many diseases can be removed from the world. For that it is trying, and trying to address issues like population growth, hunger and malnutrition. So main problem for the health, the population growth, as a result, all the facilities they can't get. Poverty will be increased and hunger will be the result, and malnutrition will be the problem, and finally they will not get the resistance power, and they will be attacked by the disease. To avoid that, it is trying. So that is the main work of WHO. Next, we have discussed about United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is the UNESCO, which was established in 1946, its headquarters in Paris. It strives to improve the science, education and culture of the world. So mainly, its name itself says that scientific and cultural organization, educational, scientific and cultural organization. So it will try to improve science, scientific knowledge, technology, education and culture of the world. Active and technical education, cultural issues, constructive thinking and media strategies to preserve the world heritage. It's a very important one, this is actually. Very important organization also. Supports governmental and non-governmental organization to spread the importance of education. Human resource, very important one. See, WHO and UNESCO both work together. Human resource will develop. WHO will think about the health, and UNESCO will think about the education. Both important one. Physical and mental growth, if we get, they are the human resource actually. So both working towards that side. Next, we have discussed about UNICEF, United Nations International Emergency Fund, Children's Emergency Fund it is. For the development of the children. In 1946, this UNICEF was established, mainly which was established to develop the children, orphans, those who suffer after Second World War. Many children they were suffering. For their development it was started, and afterwards it continued its work. It has 30 members. It aimed to create conducive environment for the development of children and women. That's so this here see the symbol like that, women and a child. Women is very important role. Women play very important role in the development of the child. She think of the future of the child. If she is healthy, child will be healthy. If she is educated, child will be educated. So like that. And because of its great work, this UNICEF received Nobel Award for Peace in 1965. That is a great achievement. And to help these children of the world, those who need funding, important one. To collect the fund, UNICEF greeting cards are there. They sell the greeting cards to generate the funds. That fund will be used for the development of the children, the needy children. So while purchasing, please friends, purchase UNICEF greeting cards. Let us help for the children of the world. So it is known for humane outlook. Actually, it is having some human values. So we have to support it. It's a great achievement of UNO actually, great organ of UNO. Yes. So next, International Monetary Fund, IMF. See, financial support necessary. In 1945, IMF was established and its headquarters in New York. So this IMF or International Monetary Fund is also called a central bank of central banks. In each country, central bank we have, RBI what we have now. All these central bank, that is the IMF. It tries to resolve international economic crisis. Many economic crises are there. It will try to solve that. in the economic and financial achievements in that we discussed about that, and helps the development of global commerce, economic stability and balance of payment. Here balance of payment, in the trade what happens, imbalance will happen. Favorable balance of payment necessary, unfavorable balance of payment should not be. Unfavorable balance of payment means export will be lesser than the import. What we purchase is more, what we export is less. Then the country will suffer from unfavorable balance of payment. There it will go to its support. Its export will be improved. By that, its economic condition can be improved. For that purpose, it will guide. In this administrative council, board of directors and managing director works. They are working. It plays very important role in as a facilitator between developed countries and non-developed countries. So managing that one very important one. Developed countries, they have to help the developing countries or underdeveloped countries. And for that, in between developed countries, underdeveloped countries or developing countries, they can't survive. For their survival, it will help. By that, economic improvement possible. Economic slavery can be avoided. So that was the main work of IMF. Next, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD or World Bank. In 1947, it was established. Its headquarters in Washington. Yeah. And it is called as World Bank. So just friends, remember IMF is called as Central Bank of Central Banks and this IBRD is called as World Bank. Okay, and this World Bank was founded to ensure economic progress of after World War II. After Second World War, for the economic progress of the war-torn nations, this IBRD was founded. Provides funds in large sum to promote the growth of agriculture, infrastructure development, transport and communication development to all member countries. So agriculture necessary to improve the agriculture fund necessary. It will provide funds. By that, food shortage can be solved. Food problem can be solved. Infrastructure development important one. Transport and communication important one. Industrial development important one. For that, it will provide all the financial help. Helps to balance the world trade and the balance of payment. So here again, it will help to develop the balance in the world trade. There should not be more fluctuation, and the companies which export the goods should be able to face the fluctuation, economic fluctuation. Such help it will provide. Administrative Council, Executive Council and President manages the bank. And it has two cooperative organizations under this. International Progressive Association and International Financial Authority. These are the two cooperative organizations which comes under IBRD. Okay, so this is about IBRD. Next, let us move to ILO, International Labour Organization. Name itself says it is International Labour Organization. Its headquarters in Geneva. Here, mainly from the member countries, every member state can send two representatives for ILO. One from labor union, another one from administrative system. Because both the side, their problems they have to say. It should not be one-sided. Whatever the problems of labor should be solved here. While solving the problems, one member should be there from the administrative system also. Then by discussing there, they will try to solve the problems. And main aim of this ILO was welfare of workers, health facilities, life quality should be improved, minimum wages should be provided, housing schemes, maternity benefits for women, etc. See, all the facilities necessary for the workers to provide the facilities. Many times what happens, the companies, they will take more work and give less salary. No equal wages. And all these rules should be, or whatever the rule it is there, it should be followed. But they are not following. And life quality of the workers was less. Security not there. Health facility not there. Maternity leave not there. So to avoid that, to provide all these facilities to the laborers, it is working. But the ILO can suggest the members. Recommendations are in the form of suggestions. It can't force the members to do this. Only suggestions they will give. You have to do this, you have to provide this, etc. Strives to protect the welfare of workers of the world. It will try to protect the welfare of the workers of the world. Okay, so this is mainly to provide the minimum wages and minimum lifestyle. Their standard of living should be improved. For that purpose it is working. So that is about ILO. Next we have discussed about UNO's Trade and Commerce Progress Committee. Okay, and here this committee focuses on the facilitation of commerce and trade progress, mainly towards the progress of the trade business. If there are any administrative bottlenecks affecting the trade and commerce, it provides technical assistance. Any problem in the trade, any difficulties in the trade between the countries, immediately it will come and provide technical assistance to them to solve the problems. They will provide technical assistance aimed at providing conducive environment to environment for better trade and commerce nature in the world. For the better trade, better commerce, it will provide all the favorable positions, favorable environment it will provide. So that is helpful for economic development of the nation. This is about UNO's Trade and Commerce Progress Committee. Next we have to see WTO, World Trade Organization, which was established in 1995, headquarters Geneva. Recently established this one, the WTO. And there, all members agreed upon the general agreement on trade, tariff and trade. I told about the GATT. Yeah, so under WTO they signed in 1999. Actually, they signed this one. Yeah, a GATT agreement was made, and tries to resolve various conflicts rising out in international trade and commerce. It will try to solve the conflicts between the nations because of international trade and commerce. That should not lead to the war. And if there is a conflict between the countries, the trade will not take place, and as a result, economic development not possible. So the problems will be solved, and the trade will be continued, economic development possible, and peace can be maintained. Works with the World Bank to formulate the policies of international trade and commerce. So with the World Bank, it will work. WTO and WHO, World Bank, IMF, IBRD, etc., working together. IBRD is the World Bank. With that, it will work, and here any problems it will solve, and World Bank will provide financial help. It is considered as the third important pillar of the world trade along with IMF and the World Bank. With IMF and the World Bank, it is the third pillar. They are the two pillars of the world trade. So for the development of the trade, it will work more. So this is about World Trade Organization. These are the main organizations of UNO. So these organizations together, they will help the development of the world, development of the member nations. So that's why, because of the efforts of these organizations, till today, Third World War not fought, and world is looking development. Yeah. So this is about another part, the organizations. Next we have to next video. Let us discuss about regional cooperation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.